Hello, I'm Dynast Amir.
So I reached out to another friend of mine. I said, look, I need to go on vacation somewhere. Where should I go? He said, go to Africa. And not only am I going to go, I'm going to explore a new country. So I went to Tanzania, South Africa, Namibia, Mali, Senegal, Morocco, Liberia, Namibia, Kenya, the Voodoo Festival in Ouida, Gambia, Togo, Cote d'Ivoire. Sierra Leone, Ghana, Nigeria. It's been a beautiful experience, just learning more about our culture, our indigenous culture. So Uhuru means freedom in Swahili. I'm in search of my roots. In finding that, I would experience my Uhuru, which is freedom.
Till next time, Dynast Amir, I'm out.
Hold on. Peace, family. I hope all is well. I hope what's today? Tuesday? Today's Tuesday, right? Yeah, today's Tuesday. I hope your Tuesday is going well as well. Do me a favor, hit the like button again. Please hit the like button. Also share and subscribe. Make sure you do all that good stuff, guys. It helps with the algorithm. So, you guys know what to do. When you come to the chat room, hit the like button. Make sure you share. Make sure you subscribe. Also, make sure you go to search for Uhuru.com. Make sure you go to search for Uhuru.com. 1 second. Let me go put that in the chat room real quick. Go to search for Uhuru.com and cop a copy of the documentary. Again, cop a copy of the documentary. I would greatly appreciate it. Let me share the screen. It's like I got to get some music playing in the background. Shout out to Mr. E in the chat room. You're first. Again, go to search for Uhuru.com and buy the documentary. Shout out to Mr. E in the chat room. Again, shout out to Mr. E in the chat room. And I appreciate y'all. I appreciate everyone who comes here every day and views and checks out what we're doing. I greatly appreciate it. Again, thank you so much. It means a lot. I really appreciate the support. Tours, we are still rolling to Sierra Leone November. Citizenship is available to those who qualify. Again, citizenship is available to those who qualify. And the main thing, the gist of it is you got to have African ancestry DNA. The company. So you have to use African ancestry. You have to go through them, get the DNA results, and the results link back to Sierra Leone. You're pretty much on your way. And I help facilitate that. So make sure you go to donfo.africa. Again, donfo.africa to learn more. And then I will be releasing the tour schedule for next year here shortly. Again, I will be releasing the tour schedule for next year. So if those are interested in going to the continent, we would love to have you. Would love to host you. It would really mean a lot for you guys to join Search for Uhuru or Downfall.Africa, and come enroll with us on one of our many tours. Well, really, actually, it's 4. But yeah, come enroll with us on one of our tours. It will mean a lot, family. It will mean a lot. Yeah, so I'm back in Atlanta. Had a good time in Nigeria. Had a good time in Senegal. Got back here early Sunday morning. Still catching up on rest. I was jet lagged like crazy. That jet lag really got me on this trip. Really got me. And part of it is my fault because the way my return ticket, knowing that I was going to Senegal, I should have just got a one-way ticket to Nigeria, and they got a one-way ticket from Senegal back to the States. So you can fly direct on either Delta or Air Senegal back to the States one way. So instead, what I did, of course, we went to Nigeria. Then I caught Air Cote d'Ivoire from Lagos to Dakar. We had a layover in Abidjan. But instead of just flying direct back to the States, flying back to the States from Dakar, I ended up flying from Dakar to Lomé, Togo, which is like a 3.5-hour flight, right? And that route, it goes basically you go from Dakar through Mali, like through Benin, through no, Dakar through Mali, then like kind of through Burkina Faso, and you drop through northern Ghana. Then from Ghana you come into Togo. So that was like a 3.5-hour flight. So then I'm in Togo. And guess what? The route to leave is that same route, but going the opposite direction to get back to the States. So I pretty much flew from Dakar to Togo to catch the flight back to the States. But then that flight from Togo, pretty much the same route, was that route where I ended up through Senegal anyway to come back to the States. And that was an 11-hour flight. And then once I touched down in at JFK, usually the last flight out of usually what I would do if I was on that Ethiopian Victor kids with African ancestry, as long as the results link back to Sierra Leone, you're good to go with African ancestry. Again, with African ancestry, as long as the results link back to Sierra Leone, you're good to go. So that's all you need. You just need the results to link back to Sierra Leone. So usually when I fly Ethiopian Airlines, because Ethiopian Airlines, they have like that afternoon flight from Lomé, Togo, which brings you to either Newark at night or JFK at night. And so usually what I would do, I would just spend the night in New York and then catch another flight early that morning back to Atlanta. Instead, what I did, I found a 10 o'clock flight from JFK to Atlanta. So literally got off the plane, went through passport control, got my bags, had to hop on like the little train that goes around the airport, go to a different terminal, go through security, then hop on that flight to get back to to Atlanta. So I was on plane after plane after plane, to get back here to Atlanta. But I'm here, and yeah, so I had a great time in Nigeria and had a great time in Senegal. Got some stuff we're working on in Senegal, so going to be spending a lot of time there. Fabian said those flights will break you down. I'm still recovering. Fabian, to tell you the truth, I'm still recovering. And Fabian, it's just when you get older, because I know back when I was living in LA, back when I was living in LA going to Africa, I used to take the worst routes. So, like, for example, the first time I went to Senegal, back when I was living in LA, this was like 2012, 2013, I flew Turkish Airlines. So it was a direct flight from LA to Istanbul. That was like a 15-hour flight. Then I had to come back across like Northern Africa to Senegal, and that was like another 8-hour flight. It was crazy, or 7-hour flight, something like that from Turkey. So yeah, those flights they break me down now, because back in the day, like when I used to go, I used to be good, but coming back, all I had to do was just when I land back in LA or in Atlanta, go to bed, wake up, I'm ready to go the next day. Now it's taking me like 48 hours to recover. But like, again, what I should have done. And then another time I forgot. So I went LA, I think it was British Airlines, American Airlines, British Airlines, from LA to the UK. Then I went from the UK to Dar es Salaam. And I was just all over the place. I went from Dar es Salaam, I went to South Africa. Then I went to Namibia. Then from Namibia, went back to South Africa. I think I flew like Emirates to Dubai. Then from Dubai, went all the way back. It was crazy. So no. I'm not. Listen, on my flights now, I'm trying to get directly on the continent. So I'm foregoing. I'm foregoing avoiding trying to have layovers in Europe. Again, I want to avoid having layovers in Europe. So like even with Sierra Leone, the majority of us were flying from New York to Dakar, but then that flight got filled. So then, like the rest of the people, they're gonna have to go to Italy. It's what it is. And then from Italy, they could catch Air Senegal to Freetown, and they're gonna meet us in Dakar. This past trip to Nigeria, we flew Ethiopian Airlines from New York to Lomé, then Lomé to Lagos. And that wasn't that bad. But now, more than likely, moving forward, we're going to fly. I like New York. It's best to fly out of New York. I like New York. Atlanta's just overpriced. They got a racket going on here in Atlanta. First class or business class from here on out. Yeah, man. Once you no, the direct flights aren't no. It depends which airline. So with these flights, it depends which airline and which city you're flying out of. Again, it depends on which airline and which city you're flying out of. Flying out of New York, even DC to a point, but especially New York, you can get a good deal on a flight because there's competition. There's more carriers. Coming out of Atlanta, they're going to hit you over the head. Like, I would like to fly out of Atlanta because I'm here in Atlanta. I would like to fly out of Atlanta, but New York is better. You have more options, and they don't hit you over the head as hard. Because I think now that the Delta flights are resuming out of JFK to Lagos, next time we'll try to go JFK direct to Lagos on Delta, which they have that flight. But like I said, the Ethiopian Airlines flight wasn't that bad. So yeah. Well, guys, I'm putting together a course. Isn't Atlanta the busiest airport in the world? How is it more expensive? It's more expensive because Delta runs a racket here. Delta, like, you got to think about it. Out of as far as international carriers, you pretty much got Delta. There's some other. I think Emirates might fly out of here. A couple other airlines, but there's not as many. Delta runs a racket here in Atlanta. Use India in your VPN for cheaper tickets. Oh, Sissy, you just put me up on game. Hold on, let me make a note of that. So my VPN say I'm in India. The tickets are cheaper. Okay, you just put me on some game. Hold on one second. Let me make a note of that. I appreciate that, Sissy. Hold on. Let me text that to myself real quick. Hold on one second. Hold on. Give me a second. Use India VPN when buying tickets. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for that, Sissy. I appreciate that. I'm gonna try that for the next one. That's good info. Yeah, New York's the best departure point in the U.S. Atlanta, they're running around. Delta has a monopoly here at the airport here in Atlanta. There really needs to be 2 airports here in Atlanta. There's a demand for it now. There needs to be 2 airports, or they needed to expand even more. Because, like I said, it's just Delta's running a racket here in Atlanta. What's the difference when using a different VPN? So, what a VPN does, I guess it tricks the internet or gives you a different IP address as if you're currently in another country. So, if you say you're in India with your VPN, the tickets might be cheaper. In fact, well, see, I would try it right now, but the thing is, in fact, let's guys, we're gonna put this to a test real quick, guys. I know we're a little off topic right now, but hold on, we're gonna put this to a test because I got my VPN on my phone. So let's put this to a test real quick. India. Oh damn, I ain't got India. So India is not an option, unfortunately. Ain't that some crap? So unfortunately, India is not an option with my NordVPN. I was gonna try it right now on my phone. But let's try like Vietnam or somewhere. Let's see here. Let's try Vietnam and see what happens. Connected to Vietnam. Okay, connected to Vietnam. Okay. So let's go to one of the sites I use to find tickets. Let's see here. Freetown, New York, one way. Let's say December 7th. There we go. All right, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. It's about the same. Tickets are about the same. Tickets are about the same with the VPN. Oh. All right, we'll figure it out. All right, let me turn this off. Okay, there we go. Yeah, it didn't work. So, no, I didn't use Skyscan. I use Momondo. I like Momondo. Yeah, but it didn't work, y'all, unfortunately. So, next time. Hold on, U.S. Lawyer, that's not a 13-hour flight. From LAX to Addis, that's not a 13-hour flight. It's much longer than a 13-hour flight. Because it takes 5 hours just from LA to New York to get across America. That's like 5 hours alone. Then there's another 6 hours to get across the Atlantic, And then once you get to Senegal, which is the most western part of Africa, because I've done the flight from Dakar to Addis. That was like another 5 hours. That's like a 16-hour flight. He said 13 hours? Hold on. Let me see something. I got to challenge that. Flight time. I might be wrong, though. I might be wrong. So right here is saying 20 hours. Yeah, right here it says 18 hours and 43 minutes. There's no way unless you in a Lear jet, Sonic Mach 1 jet, whatever the hell they call them. Yeah, that's an 18-hour flight, easy. From LA to Addis Ababa, that's 18 hours easy. That's 18 hours easy. I mean, my flight from LA to Turkey was like 15 hours. Well, let me see something. We're going to check something out. Guys, hit the like button. I know we're a little off topic. Please forgive me, but do me a favor. Hit the like button. LAX to Addis Ababa. I'm on the Ethiopian Airlines site right now. We'll just say one way leaving. Man, that's fine. We'll just say September 1st. Okay, search flights. Shout out to Lion King for the super chat. Thank you so much. Okay, so I'm looking at a flight right now. One stop is in Washington, D.C. Now from D.C. Okay, so you went from LAX to D.C. maybe? But hold on, let me keep looking. And then from D.C. to Addis Ababa might be a 13-hour flight. That sounds about right. Yeah, all these flights are showing stop in hold on. So this is showing a stop in Chicago. I don't think there's any direct flights from LAX to Addis Ababa. You're gonna stop somewhere. All these, unless it changed, all these flights are showing a stop. Because I know, like, when you get to DC to Addis, it's like a 13-hour flight. That sounds about right. Hold on, I'm just looking. I'm on the Ethiopian Airlines site right now. Yeah, all these have a stop, either in DC or Chicago. Yeah, okay. So like I said, so let me share this screen real quick. There's no way. Okay, US lawyer. Come on, man. Come on, bro. How can you okay? So you're saying both flights from LAX to Addis Ababa and DC to Addis Ababa are both 13 hours. How is that possible? So what you're saying is the plane they use from LAX is like what's the new planes that are coming out? Hold on one second. Here's my email address: Uhuru at searchforuhuru.com. Again, I could be wrong. But that's not adding up. So you're saying a flight from LAX direct to Addis Ababa is the same amount of time as a flight from DC to Addis Ababa. That's not. I mean, that don't make sense, bro. Unless, yeah, that's not adding up. Yeah, the Concorde jet. That's what I meant. Detail the Concorde jet. So are you saying that from LAX to Addis they use a Concorde jet? That what you're saying? Because that math's not adding up. And like I said, these Ethiopian airline flights, they all have stops from LAX. They're stopping in Chicago or DC. I'm looking at them right now. But yeah, but that don't add up. But like I said, I could be wrong. We could have been on a Concorde. But yeah, okay. I don't know how long it takes to get there, but I do know Ethiopian Airlines flight attendants are the best in the business. They are. They are. I agree. Nah, you're talking a whole 5 hours because it takes 4.5 hours roughly to get from LAX to. I mean, Fabian would tell you he lives in LA. He flies to JFK. That takes like 4.5, 5 hours to get from LAX to JFK. So, like I said, that's just not adding up. So yeah. So let's get started. Yo, I had no clue. There was an election in Kenya. I had no clue. Guys, when it comes to Africa, 2023 is like election season. So we got Sierra Leone. I think that's going to be in June. We got Nigeria. That's coming up early 2023. We got Liberia. That's coming up 2023. So like there's some very important elections going on in let me share this real quick. Hold on. Yeah, Liberia's coming up. So there's some very important elections coming up. South Africa 2024. Okay. That's a couple years away. But there's some very important elections coming up next year. And like with, a lot of African elections, there's always some drama. Kenya Supreme Court lays out issues in presidential dispute. The 7-member Supreme Court will issue its verdict Monday on the disputed Kenyan presidential polls. Kenya Supreme Court on Tuesday laid out questions it will answer when it rules on this month's disputed presidential election result, including whether the commission's website was hacked. Opposition leader Raila Odinga, guys, so Raila Odinga's father, Oginga Odinga, I think his name is, has a great book called Not Yet Uhuru. And I have it upstairs somewhere. I bought it when I was in Kenya. At one of the malls in Nairobi. I bought it there. Opposition leader Raila Odinga, who is seeking the presidency for the 5th time, is contesting the result of a tight vote after which the Election Commission chairman declared Deputy President William Ruto the winner. 4 out of the 7 commissioners disowned the result. The situation has raised fears of possible violence like the episodes after disputed polls in 2007 and 2017. Kenya is a key Western ally in an unstable region, and it hosts the regional headquarters of many global companies and organizations. Odinga's legal team lodged a case alleging that a team working for Ruto hacked into the election system. Oh, shoot. And replaced genuine pictures of polling station results forms with fake ones, thus increasing Ruto's share. Ruto denied the allegations. The Election Commission has filed competing responses with 3 commissioners supporting the process and 4 questioning it. The Supreme Court will decide if the polling station returns were interfered with, and whether the postponement of 8 gubernatorial and legislative elections disadvantaged any candidate, said Chief Justice Martha Koome, the president of the 7-member court. So we got some election drama, a little alleged corruption going on with this election in Kenya. Yeah, like I said, I had no clue. I had no clue that there was an election in Kenya. But I think Ruto is the same party as Kenyatta, Uhuru Kenyatta. So, their party wins it again. Yeah, but I don't know much. Well, I know a little bit about Odinga, but I don't know much about Ruto. Odinga's father and Uhuru Kenyatta's father, they were boys at one time, right after colonialism ended in Kenya. Then I guess they fell out. So we'll see how that plays out. And then if you guys don't know, let me play this real quick. Let's see here. Ghana. So Ghana hasn't, I guess, banned Delta Airlines from flying into Ghana. It's just a specific plane that they banned from flying. I guess. Okay, here we go. Ghana considers banning all aircraft older than 20 years from its airspace. Guys, so let me tell you about these African airlines. A lot of these African airlines, whether it be A Sky, Air Cote d'Ivoire, Air Senegal, they get these used hand-me-down planes from America. So, like, prime example, I was on Air Cote d'Ivoire coming from, it was either the Lagos flight to Abidjan or Abidjan to Dakar. And it was an old Delta plane. Because you could see, like, the little carts they push. Well, the seats, everything was blue. Everything was blue on the plane. Everything was blue. Right? The seats, everything. And then the little cart they push where they serve you the food, it had a Delta logo on it. Excuse me. It had a Delta logo on it. So a lot of these planes that these African airlines use are old planes that they hand-me-down planes that they get from they buy for the low from these US carriers. Which I knew they were doing that because I remember one time I was on a plane a couple years ago. It was either A Sky or I forgot who it was. And I swore it was an old Southwest Airlines plane or United. It was something. But yeah, but they get these old planes from these US carriers. That's what they're using. But even, AWA, African World Airways, which is Ghana's national carrier, they use these old planes. So if they ban planes that are 20 years old, they're going to have to get a whole new fleet of planes because they be using those old planes. A lot of African airlines lease their planes. Yeah, they be leasing these old planes. I swore it said Delta Airlines. I'm like, oh God. Y'all could at least put your own logo on there. Airline industry isn't profitable. Really? I don't know. If the airline industry wasn't profitable, I would doubt that the airlines would be in business. Yeah, too lazy to remove the logo. I'm like, man, y'all could at least remove the Delta logo. It said Delta Airlines. I said, oh gosh. In Abidjan. So, but let me look for this real quick. So, guys, do me a favor, hit the like button. Again, please hit that like button. I greatly appreciate. I'm just looking for this video real quick. I want to play for you guys. I was watching it today at the gym in regards to them talking about in regards to Delta being banned from well, that just one, that specific plane being banned. So let's play this real quick. Okay, here we go.
And we begin this afternoon from the aviation sector. The Ghana Civil Aviation Authority, GCAA, has cautioned Delta Airlines against using its aircraft with registration number N195DN for flights to Accra. The caution to the airline follows events of August 1, 2022, in which the aircraft was forced to return to gate due to a technical problem. Now, the GCAA said following the incident, it conducted an investigation to ascertain the circumstances that led to such an occurrence. The investigation concluded that, we'll show you on your screen, the crew reported a fuel imbalance with the left main tank. The inbound crew experienced the same issue on the flight leg to Accra, that is on the 31st of July, 2022. This was the same aircraft that had to return to JFK on the 25th of July, 2022, a few hours after takeoff from JFK, and which was widely reported on various media outlets. Now, GCAA knows that with the negative reportage about the flight, they expected that Delta Airlines would have thoroughly investigated the issue to arrive at the root cause of the failure before dispatching the aircraft on flights. Rather, the aircraft was flown within the United States a number of times and then dispatched again to Accra, only for the problem to reoccur. The authority found that unacceptable, hence the temporary denial of Delta aircraft with the registration number N195DN entry into Ghana. Well, let's make sense of the latest developments. Joining us on Zoom, aviation expert Sean Mendes. Good afternoon to you, Sean. Your reaction to this move by the Ghana Civil Aviation Authority?
Thanks, Daryl. Well, I think GCA is doing exactly what their job is. They are the safety regulator in Ghana, and it's their job to ensure that all aircraft operating in Ghana are properly certified and are safe. This particular Delta Airlines aircraft, N195 Delta November, has in the last month or so had at least 3 and possibly as many as 5 major incidents which have resulted in the aircraft being grounded or diverted. Some of those have been on flights to Accra, some have been on flights to Prague and Lisbon. So this is not something that's isolated just to problems happening on the Ghana route. There was something wrong with that aircraft for sure. I don't doubt that Delta is trying to get to the bottom of what the issue is, but GCA had requested Delta after the incident on 1st of August to provide them with the root cause analysis of what was causing these problems, as well as details of the remedial action. My understanding is that Delta has delayed in providing that response to Ghana Civil Aviation Authority. And until Ghana Civil Aviation Authority is satisfied that the appropriate action has been taken by Delta, they are perfectly within their rights. And in fact, they're exercising their responsibilities by ensuring that aircraft does not continue to operate to Ghana in the interim.
You point out that Delta, no doubt, would try to get to the bottom of this, but does the airline have any excuse, any way to explain this, or it was just being negligent or careless?
Delta has a fleet of over 100 767s, and they've got over 40 years of operating this type. So no airline knows the 767 better than Delta does. They are definitely not negligent in any way, shape, or form. They have a perfect safety record with the 767, but it is a machine, and machines break. And sometimes to fix them, you don't always are not always able to see what exactly went wrong. You know what the problem was, you don't know what the symptom of that was. And in this particular case, with the fuel imbalance, it's very hard to troubleshoot this unless the aircraft is dispatched with a full fuel tank on long flights. So I can understand why it's taken Delta a while to do this. That, of course, is no excuse. I don't believe there was ever an active safety issue with regards to the way the events unfolded on the flights, despite some media reports. However, that is no excuse, once again, to not rectifying the fault. And I'm very sure that Delta is taking the steps, if they haven't already. They have just delayed in communicating this properly to Ghana Civil Aviation Authority, which has led GCA to take the steps they have.
And you indicated that this particular aircraft has flied other routes aside from Accra. But there is a perception that some international airlines lower standards when it comes to service delivery in Africa. Does this feed into that perception?
I think the perception may be there, but the reality is that, while the planes being used to Accra right now are older ones, these are not unsafe or less comfortable than any of the other aircraft in Delta's fleet. A 25-year-old plane that is maintained well is far safer than a 2-year-old plane that is not maintained well. The reason Delta operates the 767s to Ghana is that, quite simply, they have a very large number of them, over 100. And this plane is the right size with the right range to be able to make the flight between JFK and Accra safely and profitably. So I don't think it has anything to do with that. This plane this particular plane, which has been banned from Ghana in the last 1 week, has operated to Dakar, to Prague, to Edinburgh, and to Lisbon. So this is definitely not something that they're just sending it to Ghana because it is substandard. It operates throughout Delta's network, domestically as well as to Europe and to Asia. And it's just unfortunate that it's had multiple problems, and 2 of those highly publicized ones were on the Ghana route in the last 1 month.
And how significant is this move, though, by the GCAA? Would it make other airlines start to rethink the approach when it comes to, ensuring that there is safety, ensuring that their aircraft are also on point, top notch?
I think every single airline that operates to Ghana, or indeed operates anywhere in the world, has safety as their top priority. So I think what GCA, as I said, this is not really a safety issue as much as it's a case of Delta not complying with the requirements and the request of GCA to give them the details of what went wrong and what they've done to fix it. GCA needs to be satisfied that Delta has taken the steps. Delta has delayed on that for reasons best known to them. And I'm sure that once they're able to provide GCA with this is what went wrong, this is what we did to fix it, GCA will be satisfied. But I don't think there are any safety questions about Delta or indeed any other airline flying to Ghana. And a part of that is the credit to GCA and the good job that they do monitoring the Ghana aviation sector.
Great. And so how do you anticipate this plays out and when eventually will we see this temporary ban lifted?
Well, Delta, as I said, has over 100 aircraft of this type. So while 1 aircraft is banned from Ghana, the rest of the fleet is perfectly, is continuing to serve the route between JFK and Accra. And that will continue for now. I think, as was noted in the letter, that once Delta is able to put the paperwork together and explain to GCA, look, this was the sensor that was faulty, or this was the pump that was faulty, or whatever the root cause of the problems were, and this is what we've done to replace it. You can see the data. It's now flown, 14 days without any issues on long-haul flights. That GCA will indeed lift that suspension. And as I said, that's exactly the way things are supposed to go. Aircraft will have problems. They should be grounded until those problems are fixed. And GCA and Delta are acting responsibly to ensure that it is done for the safety of the traveling public.
All right. Sean Mendes, great to talk to you this afternoon. I appreciate your time. Aviation expert there, Sean Mendes, speaking to us on the story we have been reporting about Delta Airlines aircraft being temporarily banned by the Ghana Civil Aviation Authority. Like he points out, hopefully things will be resolved. Plus, Delta has a number of fleets. So, if your Delta airline is your favorite airline, you don't have a problem. There's always an aircraft to replace that one that has been grounded. Well,
so guys, basically what happened, I think it was July 25th last month. A Delta flight. Oh, hold on.
200 world leaders assembled in Glasgow to acknowledge
a flight from JFK to Accra started to run out of fuel over the Atlantic Ocean, a Delta flight headed to Accra from JFK. So 3 hours into the flight, they're over the Atlantic Ocean. So ain't no emergency landing in the Atlantic Ocean. They ran out of flight, no airport or, runway. If you want to have an emergency landing over the Atlantic Ocean, you in trouble. SOL. So I guess the plane was running out of fuel and they had to have an emergency. They had to turn back around and head back to JFK while the plane is running out of fuel. And even before that, I think the flight was like canceled maybe 3 days in a row. So like people who have booked the flight, they're telling them that the flight was canceled. Then they were telling them that, when your flight gets canceled, the airline should give you accommodations. That's normally what they do. They should give you accommodations. My flights have been canceled in the past. I got put up in a hotel. I remember I had a flight in Accra going back to the U.S. My flight got canceled. The airline, which is Air Cote d'Ivoire, it was like a South African Airways or Airlines co-share flight, but I got it through Air Cote d'Ivoire. They put me in the nice hotel in Accra called the African Regent, real nice hotel in Accra. So I ended up staying there. For and reality, that's the question that people have been asking. Like, how can you not know that there's a fuel issue before you leave? So, they were getting on the pilots in Delta about that too. But yeah, so they kept me in the African Regent, real fly hotel in Accra, Ghana, real fly hotel in Accra. And that's where I stayed. They pay for it. I had breakfast, lunch, dinner. I ran up that bill. Like I said, real nice hotel. And that's where I ended up staying when my flight was canceled. This was a couple years. This was like maybe this is a while ago. Like maybe 3 years ago, 4 years ago. Like 3 years ago, I think. So that's where I stayed. So, had a good time, enjoyed myself. Yeah, and that's what a lot of people who were on the flight were saying. Like, how did you not know that you have fuel issues? So yeah. So that's the problem with the plane. So, but, I fly Delta to Africa a lot. I fly a lot. So you said the issue is more than fuel. Somebody said, does anybody remember Ghana Airways? Think a yellow school bus with wings. Oh, God. Well, Nigerian Airlines is supposed to come back this year. It was supposed to already be back by now, but it's not here. So it wasn't a fuel issue. The pilot did not want to scare the people. Jude, call in. I mean, I want to hear the theories. I want to hear the theories. Call in. Call in. Yeah, I want to hear the theory. What's the theory? Yeah, but Nigerian Airways is supposed to come back this year. I'm here for it. I'm going to catch a flight. I'm just shocked there's no Nigerian carrier. Well, Eric Air used to fly direct from New York to Lagos. Something happened and they stopped it. But again, Eric Air used to fly direct from New York to Lagos. But for some reason they stopped it. So hopefully the Nigeria carrier could go back and forth. Because right now, as far as African carriers that fly between America and Africa, you have Air Senegal, you got Ethiopian. I don't think South Africa Airways. I don't think South Africa flies anymore back and forth. You have Egyptian Air Egypt or Egyptian Air. You have Royal Air Morocco. You have Kenyan Airways, Kenya Airways, Airlines, whatever you want to call it. They do. Who else? I think that's it. Yeah, that's it, I think. So here we go. Gas them up. It's been a minute, brother. Gas them up. Go ahead, bro. It's been a minute.
Good morning, my neighbors.
What's up?
What's going
I didn't
on,
hear
man?
you. You know, your
I
mic
said,
is
good
always.
morning, my neighbors.
Good morning.
Can you guys hear me?
Hear you just fine. Go ahead.
Yeah, listen, I think the airline thing, the specifics of the Ghana thing, who knows why they pulled it. If it was a safety issue, that probably is the best thing. Finally, they're taking a stand. But I think airlines in Africa typically aren't managed well. Like Nigerian Airways was very poorly managed. It was actually dismantled during Obasanjo's regime. That caused a lot of issues, especially around that time. Him and the former governor of Edo, I forgot the guy's name, is slipping my brain right now. Oshimole, yeah. So he was a so-called union activist and fighting Obasanjo at the time. But a lot of that stuff, especially with Nigeria Airways, ended up just turning into nonsense after the IMF deregulations. And so I'm hoping that this new because they got the new wing that they're building right now, and they said by September.
So there, I think some flights are already operating out of the new.
No, they're operating, but now they're saying September because I'm still there in the motherland right now. But I got some people who at the airport, and they're telling me by September most of the flights will be coming through there. So hopefully they do the right thing in these.
What really bothers me, man, it's just when we built these new airports, these new terminals, we don't keep them up. Like I'm in Senegal, I'm brand new. I think the new airport of Senegal is maybe 4 years old. 4 years old, maybe. Man, I mean, you go into the bathroom, soap dispenser's not working. The bathroom attendant's telling you to, take off the lid of the soap dispenser, just put your hand in the dispenser.
It's part of the problem. I mean, when I get back, I'll be on my show. Shout out to the Black Pentagrammers, Tan and Jose, on Gas Them Up. You can search us. When we get back in September, we'll start making new episodes. I got this thing where I believe that Africa has two issues, and no one wants to admit it. And I'll be a little bit long-winded, but I'll end succinctly to address your point. In Nigeria, they say
take your time, because I think this is important. Like I said, man, it's just all these new airports, man. Because like the airport in Togo is relatively new. All these new terminals I go to, they're not maintaining them. Like it's just little things. Like, dude, I'll
tell you why.
Go ahead.
It's like in Nigeria they say we know they carry last, like the Delta people originated that, they carry last, and now all Nigeria says it. And I was talking to some people and I said, I think sometimes it's okay to come in last place. It's okay to finish last. That way you know where you stand. Like if you're cheating and you're doing all kind of crookery and chicanery to figure out how you're going to come in second place so you can beat your chest to say, at least I did not carry last. That's terrible. Sometimes you got to know where you stand. And there's two things that I think that's happening across Africa. Just as I'm back home now, it's the Dunning-Kruger effect. And anybody who you can Google it, called the Dunning-Kruger effect. And it's effectively saying that people overestimate their own abilities, right? And I think Africans, to a certain degree, are not analyzing, are we really able to handle some of these technologies and these facets of modernity? We don't want to admit that sometimes it might be overwhelming for us, especially the people who are at the top who are handling these things. They may not want to admit that. I think the other part is
gas them up. What's that got to do with a soap dispenser? What's that got to do with a soap dispenser?
I'm gonna tell you again. So as opposed to getting the soap dispenser, maybe they should find a different way to dispense soap, right? Because the other problem is your eyes getting big, right? No, maybe they can come out with little soap packets that they can hand out to people. Like you just it's a little piece of soap and it's in a packet. You unwrap it, you wash your hands, and you go. That might be better. In the meantime, knowing that hey, for some reason, every time we build an airport, the dispensers don't work. The toilets start flushing after 6 months, and part of that reason is there's no accurate revenue collection. There's no real way that these places are generating revenue, whether it's from a taxpayer source or from properly allocating the monies that these airports generate to the right facilities. So you'll be shocked that like, hey, these airports are generating lots of money to maintain those facilities, but they're going in people's pockets, unfortunately. And the last part I was going to say is, what's that thing called? If something's going to go wrong, it's going to go wrong. That effect, damn, it's slipping my brain. Something's law, Murphy's law. And that's pretty much Africa summed up. You have the Dunning-Kruger effect meets Murphy's law. And people are overestimating their abilities, and then there's just Murphy's law. So I think with these airports, why are they not being managed properly? I think a lot of these people may be overwhelmed. They're not qualified to run airports. They don't want to admit it. Nigeria, for example, is a country you see somebody who has a degree in zoology is the head of a bank. These things happen. So it's something that I think we Africans have to start taking an actual account of where we stand and how we're going to move forward. That's just what I wanted to push on your point there.
Okay. Go Jude. Go ahead and unmute yourself, Jude.
Oh yes, Dynast.
Yeah, how you doing? Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Are we talking about the flight issue or just in general?
Go ahead. Any one of the topics. Go ahead. Go right ahead.
Okay. Yeah. Concerning the flight or the Delta 767, I think that left New York to Ghana, right? And what they say was fuel issue, but it wasn't fuel issue. Like from what I heard, they say it was more serious than that. They had more technical issues than fuel issue, and they didn't want to, cause more problems to people, right? So they came up with the fuel issue stuff, because most flight, when they kick off, they do a round check. Like they check the system, they check everything, see what is wrong with it, or if it has fuel issue or something, they refill it. And sometimes most air flight, they do air to air refill. So if there's a fuel shortage in an air flight, they can refill it in the air. They don't have to do a U-turn. Most flight does that. So the issue with the 767 Delta that was going to Ghana and had to do a U-turn was more than a fuel issue. And that was a problem, because Delta is known for a whole lot of issues. It's not just the Ghana one. We have most Delta. There have been some crashes from Delta as well. So, and people are getting confused about what is really going on with their services and their companies. It was a few years ago, right? I think they got sued in the United States for an aircraft that had a crash, and yeah, they still having problems. So people just have to be cautious. And what is going on in Kenya about the election that happened in Kenya, right? Kenya had an election, and the president, Kenyatta, wasn't supporting his own vice president. So the guy that is now claiming to be president, William Ruto, was a vice president, right, or the deputy president. So Kenyatta wasn't supporting him. Kenyatta was supporting the opposition leader, who was Raila Odinga, to be president. So these two people have different parties, because they weren't the same. They didn't have the same party, like you mentioned, right? Because the party that Uhuru Kenyatta had was Jubilee Party. So when this guy was running for his own election, he came up with the Alliance Democratic Party. So, and he's claiming to have won the election because not claiming, but the court say he won the election. So the Odinga is fighting for it. And I think it's the same everywhere, because most African leaders, when they say they won elections, you know, there's always an opposition leader that is, you know, claiming of rigging and stuff like that. It happens in every country in Africa, and it's just completely chaos, man. Like, we don't really trust our own leaders, and we don't trust the system that governs politics in Africa as a whole. And that's bad for democracy, and that's bad for the system that we have. Based on what is happening in Nigeria, right? About the guy Abba Kyari, right? Supposed to be extradited.
Right, the super cop, yeah.
Right, with super cop. What happened is, I mean, he was involved with hush puppy, right? And this is the thing. United States has a law with Nigeria, right? So it's hard for Nigeria to refuse the super cop not to be extradited to United States. This is not the first time we have criminals or persons being extradited to United States from Nigeria after committing crimes. I think last month we had a guy from Lagos that was caught that did dirty in United States, almost 3.5 million that he took from United States and escaped to Nigeria, right? And the court found him guilty and extradited him back to United States. So this is the thing. If the law goes more over and they find out that he got more hands into it, there's no way the court can stop it in Nigeria, because there's going to be sanctions. United States have what they call sanctions. They can do whatever they want. They sponsor a lot of things in Nigeria, right? They sponsor, like, they help Nigerians with military to fight Boko Haram, and there's a whole lot of sanctions that they can put on Nigeria just based on what they are asking for. So Nigeria should be cautious. And like I said, if things go the way it goes,
do you think they should extradite him?
Right, they should, because if he's involved in what the United States considered dirty.
So, Jude, what about Dick Cheney and Halliburton? These guys were all involved in a lot of scandals in Nigeria and corruption for oil deals, right, and no one has ever.
Nigeria is not calling from their back. I mean, if Nigeria had
they did. There was an arrest warrant. We did have an arrest warrant for Dick Cheney. Do you think anybody paid attention to it?
Why nobody paid attention? Because Nigeria didn't take it serious. Like,
are you sure about that?
This issue is going, Nigeria didn't take it serious. If this issue is going to a place where it's more serious, that's what I'm saying. If it's going to a place where it's more serious, but
do you see the power imbalance? Do you see the power imbalance that means? You see that I agree with you. I agree with you. Yeah, go ahead.
But Nigeria doesn't have the power to put sanctions on the United States like the way United States does.
But they have the power. They don't have to put sanctions. They can not extradite him. They don't have to extradite him.
Right.
And here's the thing. If Nigeria, and this is my problem with Nigerians, we got to stop with this weakness of us. We got to start being men and women. We got to be strong. Right, if they sanction us, so what? What are they going to do? What are they going to do? They're going to say we can't import. Wow, we can't import some cars. We can't import some rice. Who cares?
Right, but I mean, I'm from Africa, man. I'm from Cameroon as well. Like, what I'm saying is the same sanctions that is happening in every country. You saw what happened to Zimbabwe, and today Zimbabwe has no economy. The economy of Zimbabwe has collapsed because even their own neighboring countries.
Because we didn't support them. That's the problem. But that's what I'm saying. What? That's what Sankara was telling us before he got killed. He said, "Listen, these people can't do anything to us if we stand together." And the problem of us Africans, black people around the world, we don't stand together. Anytime the Oyibo man comes and tells us to dance, we start, the white man, and we start dancing. Exactly. Nobody wants to be strong.
I wish one day Africa can really stand strong, but we cannot do nothing because all these countries are weak. You cannot have a country like Nigeria standing tall to tall with United States. They have no military. They have no economic, power. They cannot do that. You see what happening in Ghana. Ghana is going for IMF loan and stuff like that. The people that control these loans, are the Europeans and America. And you cannot say, oh, Nigeria shouldn't extradite the guy. They're gonna have more problems because Boko Haram. There's a lot of just things that are happening that just because of him. No, man. Like I think if things go the worst, Nigeria has nothing to do than to extradite the guy, and that's just all what I have to say.
Okay, Missy Botter, go ahead, Missy Botter. You got. Let me unmute you. Meet you. There you go.
Okay. Alafia to every one of us. I mean, I continue high vibration to everybody. I don't even know where to start, but I'm going to start with where the brother stops. We need to stop saying that we don't have power. Nobody can do nothing to you. If everybody stand together, nobody can do nothing to you. We either stand and fall together or we fall apart separately. All this nonsense. How is it that the people that enslave us, colonize us, the issue that Black Americans are having with Africa right now was because of these same people? Now, I don't care what the Super Cup did. Personally, I'm not into corruption. I don't support it. That's not my issue. But I'll be damned if I'm going to believe what American is saying about any Black person. We need to stop that shit. I don't even care if they have evidence. There is a lot of serial killer in America that are walking the street of America. America is in no position to punish any African leader. We are the original people. We need to get on with it. They're going to come. They're going to sanction you. Are you not hungry already? Are you not starving already? Why are we behaving as if we don't know how to farm? What happened to farming? What happened to start eating right? Start doing exactly what is it that we're getting from United States? I want to know. What is it that we're getting from them that we can't get anywhere else?
Sister, someone said they're going to bomb us to the Stone Age if we fight them.
Let
They will
them
bomb
do
us.
it. Let them do it. Stop being scared.
It's
Whatever
funny how
you have in power, use it.
it's funny how we talk all these.
Listen to this. If you allow other group of people to make you a coward, they will enslave us again. You understand me? If all of us are going to die, then let us die standing up. Let it be said that this time that we're in, that Nigerians show some backbone. Do you understand me? Even if I'm scared, even when I'm scared, I'm urinating on myself, I will never let my enemy knows it. Please stop putting your fear outside on the front street. It's affecting all of us. Even when you don't have your backbone, that the backbone, your 33 vertebrae is broken, go ahead and put some wood and just take it to you and just stand up straight. You cannot have over 200 million people being scared of little United States. Americans are overweight. They are lousy. They are overweight. They can fight. Use what you got. Man to man. They don't have it like that.
Oh, man.
I am not going down as a slave to anybody again. Neither is my family going to take under slavery. So you Nigerian men, I don't want to ever hear you again come on this platform or any platform and talk about how you are weak, how they're going to get you with bombs. Did they finish bombing Iraq? Are Iraqis still not there? Are Libyans still not there? This is why Africans, Nigeria, you need to study what is going on in the world. Study what they did to Black Americans. You cannot be here and be complacent in what is going on in the world. Open your eyes, shine your eyes. Is that not what you said? This is why I'm saying that Nigerians should not separate. The moment you are separated, they have the right to conquer you individually and then conquer you collectively. Nigeria is already separated into 3 groups. The Yorubas have their side. The Hausa have their side. The Yoruba, the Igbo have their side. What you're doing is you're just governing as a whole. Now, what Nigerians need to do is to start something called Nigeria for Good Governance. You start with yourself. When you are no longer here anymore, what do you want people to say about you? What you want your generation and every Nigerian to say about you, start working on that and let that thing transfer to every single one of us, which means whatever position you are, do it to the best of your ability with no corruption of any type. When you see something wrong, fix it. When you see something, say something. When you see she being kidnapped or being trafficked, say something. Every single one of us have the power within us. How can we be the original people and we claim you every single time to feel? America in 2021, January 26, 2021, the entire planet was United States being helpless when white people decided to run and destroy their own government. The devil is a liar that Nigeria can claim they can't do anything about what is going on with them. Those are your people. Those are your brothers in the Senate. Those representatives are your own people. They are from your own kinsmen. They are from your own hometown. Okay. Every Abeokuta children should get up. Every Ibadan, every Ilorin should demand that we want free education, we want free healthcare, we want the street to be paved. All the universities should be free. All the elementary schools should be free. All the senators' money should go to repair that, to pay for that. Now, every contract should be done 100% by Nigerians. Yes. 100, no more borrowing money. Then close down the oil pipe. No more oil in Nigeria except what is good for the locals only. That's it. Let the land heal. What is it that you can do? What is it that you make hopeless? When you say Nigeria for good governance, I want to see who want to bomb you to Stone Age. Because they say you are corrupt. I'm giving you solution. If you are corrupt, Nigeria for good government says no children goes on hungry. So which means every school should have farm. Every university should be turned to a farm. Every street, every corner should be farming. Feed the children, feed the people. How are you going to be waiting for China? Use your own country to feed yourself. Do business with your neighbors. The devil is a liar. That we keep waiting for the people that enslave us, destroy us, that cause acrimony among us, and we're still waiting for them to come and help. Tell them to do what? Get ready to be enslaved again. If you don't take control of yourself as a man, take control of your country as men and women, then you deserve to be enslaved again. We better get away from all this. Listen, if you see me scared, I'm not about to tell anybody that I'm scared. I will go inside my house, get a brown paper bag, and scream inside it.
Yeah.
Listen to this. All your engineers, all your student engineers should be building the road, should be building the street, should be building all hospitals. All hospitals in Nigeria, all the money, all the senators, all their money needs to be reversed, revoked. Use that money to build all the hospitals in Nigeria. Free healthcare for every Nigerian, and then free tuition for every Nigerian. And then you ban all the Nigerians from traveling outside. You're supposed to serve your school. If Nigeria educate you, you stay in Nigeria for the next 10, 15 years to serve that country. What is it that I'm saying that you don't understand?
Yeah, you're correct. Hold on, let me read this super chat. Shout out to King Justice. Nigeria needs a draft, swell your military and pay the soldiers and land, kill unemployment for the youth and become stronger at the same time is part of how America won. And then real quick, U.S. lawyer, I'm looking at your ticket, sir. Your flight was 22 hours and 15 minutes. So you had a layover, probably in D.C.
That was a great point by King Justice. Yeah. King Justice, send an email, man. Gas them up at gmail.com. That was a great point. I'd love to hear more about that.
Yeah. You there?
Yeah, go ahead, U.S. lawyer. Go ahead.
two ticket. The second one was a direct. I'm pretty sure I made so many flights, but that was a 2018. I think that was directly from Addis to Los Angeles. I'm pretty sure that was 13 hours. I see the boarding pass.
Your return flight was 20 hours and 15 minutes. And yeah,
okay, well, I guess that.
Yeah. But go ahead, bro. And then we'll pass it on to Captain.
13 hour one. I just seen you run from Dallas to Addis. That's 13 hours.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I know. That's what I was saying. Yeah, from Dulles to Addis is 13 hours, correct.
Okay, all right. I just been to me, you start mixing them all up. But anyways, I want to say I want to appreciate the sister that's on there. Every black man needs a black woman like that somewhere in his family. Okay, because we got to stop being scared. She's 100% right. The problem is not that white people are super smart, is that they're more strategic than black people. And I see this all the time in everything I do. And so, and the Achilles heel is that they can tend to be greedy. And I'm generalizing. I understand that. Not all white people, because I got some white people I work with that are fine. Okay, some white attorneys I work with make a lot of money, but I don't have a problem with white people. What I'm saying is, especially when you deal with government officials and stuff, they tend to be greedy, and they also tend to underestimate you. That's their Achilles heel. And what you have to do is just start thinking ahead about where you want to go when you make that first move. The problem with black people is we are too upfront sometimes. Sometimes you got to play along like you don't see the game that's being played. And then what you do is you build in whatever you do a checkmate at the end of the game. So by the time you get to the end of the game, you already checked them. They didn't even see you coming. That's the game we got to play. And that's the game they play on us. They put the hand on your back. They say, hey, they like you. You're such a great guy. How's your family? How's the kids and everything? But then somewhere in the fine print, they screw you. That's how Africans get screwed on all these contracts. That's how Africans get screwed when it comes to dealing with the IMF. All this, always the devil's in the details in the fine print. That's all I'm gonna say. But anyways, I appreciate the conversation.
If you really think about this, right? We have a lot of Nigerians who are international lawyers.
You're breaking up really.
If the government don't know how to read the contract, what is in the contract, put that contract up. For example, because of all the underhandedness and all the corruption, there should be a rule now that says all contract that is going to be signed by the Nigerian government should be put up for vote by all Nigerians, right?
Well, I don't think you can necessarily do that. You just need to have a board somewhere to check them.
Until such time.
Because let me tell you why you can't do that. Because sometimes your government, here's the thing. Sometimes your government, you there, sister? I don't know if you can hear my phone like that. Can you hear me? Sometimes that you don't want to, you just need to have, you need to have some kind of a commission that inspects all the contracts and gives an analysis, but of what the outcome is going to be, the ultimate outcome. You don't always want to put everything up and right in the front, because I'm going to tell you something. I do contracts with people, and I don't want to read all the details, because they might figure out, where the contract is going to go at the end. They're playing a game. This is a game with them. They're playing a game with you. For example, where they're hiding stuff in the details. You got to play it back.
Do you remember in 2019, the incident that happened with Ghana, where the U.S. government decided to, I think the U.S. government or U.S. military decided to sign a contract with Ghanaian government, right? And in that contract, what they were saying was they have the issue in case if they run over any Ghanaians, that the Ghanaian government or citizen cannot do anything to them. And all they have to do is to go to arbitration. So you come into my country, you want to come and have a military base in my country, but I don't have the right to punish you, right?
Can I address that very quickly?
And the good thing about that was that, the good thing about that was somebody leaked it out.
Yes, if that information did not leak out, they would have signed that, we would never have known. So,
but can I address that? Madam, may I address that one? See, this is why I said earlier, Dynast, right? I said, Africa. I'm here in the continent right now. I'm in Nigeria. It's the Dunning-Kruger effect. And this is a part that nobody wants to acknowledge. It's not that, I'm saying that we're dumb, no. But they don't want to acknowledge their limited skill set. Like I said, that mentality where in Nigeria will tell you, oh, we know they carry last. No, carry last, because you don't know what the hell you're doing. So carry last and figure out where you are. Hold on. Wait. Let them carry last, see what level they are, and build on top of that. So what do I mean? There's a part we're not examining. The intellectual and elite class of Africa are the perfect example of this Dunning-Kruger effect in play. If you go to Lekki, you go to Abuja, my time where all the rich Nigerians stay, and Port Harcourt, and you have conversations with them about these contracts and these specifications and playing these games, they don't have a clue. They just want money. They just want to be able to enjoy, get around here, the white man. That's all they want to do.
So
this is the people who wait. These are the people who are signing these contracts with the white man. You will be shocked that the woman who's in Lagos Island selling clothes is a better negotiator than the person who's the minister of defense in any particular industry in Africa. That's the problem that we're having.
So take a look at this. At the end of the day, you're going to have to go back to what happened and some of the deals, some of the effect of what happened after we get our the so-called independence, right? Now, what should have happened is we have learned, at least we should have learned the way they behave. What should have happened is Africa for Africa, Nigerian for Nigeria, that in everything, Nigerian first, African first in everything that we are doing, right? Black race first, right? If you are looking at it like that, that means nobody get to hamstrung you. You have to think of what is in the good interest of the people. Is it in the good interest of Africa to have the very people that enslave us to come back and then come and do military, to come and have military on the land in our country? When you don't tell me, do Nigeria have a military base in America? So what should have happened is, if you're saying you want to come and have military base in my country, I should have the right to have military base in your country. If not, then that contract is cancelled, it's non-void. If you want to go to war because of that, go ahead and get on started, right? If we truly believe that we are the first people, that there are certain innate power that we have within us, if our leaders, we are the citizens, we are the leaders we are looking for. Every Nigerian have the right and responsibility to start choosing the type of leader that's in the best interest of the people. Otherwise, we can go ahead and go leaderless for now until we got something. Now, take a look at this. When I said that contract needs to be put up for vote, it allows an average Africans, average Nigerians to read the contract. Okay, just because somebody get a law degree doesn't mean they know shit. And an average person, right? Or you can create a commission from all the different groups. So the Fulanis are there, the Igbos are there, the Yorubas are there. Just because a Yoruba might be a president does not give that Yoruba the 100% right to sign a contract on behalf of the entire country. You have to have all the different groups that actually represent the entire country reading, and they must be loyal, they must be analysts, they must be able to go back and forth, and then as the contract coming in, make sure that you brief the entire country on what is going on. Number one.
But sister, you're right. Here's the problem. Like I'm saying, I'm here on the continent. These people, have you been around them and their children? Because it's their children that are going to take over.
Remember,
these people don't have the thinking that you're saying.
I understand what you're saying, but guess what we're saying? We're saying Nigeria for good governance, saying this is what it's going to be. Right? You're going to have to start saying these people. Those people are you, they are your people. Those people are me, and they are my people. They are us.
Not Nigeria. See, I was in Lekki the other day. Because me, I'm not a Lekki person. I'm on the mainland. I was there the other. Look, these people, I'm telling you, sister, I agree with you, but it's going to be a fight. Not just a fight. Look, the fight is two-sided. The fight, but we have to analyze where the fight is going to come from. The fight is not only from the West and their bad planes that they give us and their terrible contracts. The fight is also going to be with the elite class of individuals that don't give a damn about the average Nigerian or African on the continent. And those are going to be the hardest people to fight.
Listen to this. In Nigeria, Nigeria have something that you may say Black America doesn't even have. And if Black American here can change the little that they can change, we have a whole lot further that we can go further. What I'm telling you, Nigerian for good governance says no more from here on. If the country is going to be over and hand because of it, if the 200 million people is going to die because of we're saying we want honesty, we want fairness, we want to live in paradise in our own country, we want all Nigerians to come back to Nigeria. If that's what we're saying, I'm saying Nigerian for good governance says to hell with it, let the ships fall where it may.
But do the Niger see, that's what I'm trying to say. The average Nigeria right now, right? Okay, when you have conversations with people, just you go to the market. For example, you go into a local government area. Let's just pick one. I'm not saying specifically. Let's say you pick Ali Mosho, for example, in Lagos. The main road might be fixed, but the inside roads, you can't drive your car. It's stones, it's muddy, it's terrible.
Hey, gas them up. You will pull up to $1 million mansion on a dirt road.
Exactly.
Well,
This is, but here's the thing, Daniel. The local government chairman who's in charge.
That is not a bad thing. It's good for an average Nigerian to see that wealth is attainable. It's not beyond them, right? That we still live, that even when we have $1 million homes, we can still be among our people. That is why I said the so-called elite, they are not so elite that you can get to them, that you cannot raise their consciousness, that you cannot say that this is the land of my forefather.
It's going to be difficult. You're right, but it's going to be very difficult because, like I said, when you look at their decisions that they take, most of these elites, if you look at the elite in Africa, what is their goal?
About the elite for a second. Let's just say they are not even existed, right? That you and I, me and you, an average Nigerians, right? Why? I think somebody asked a question if I'm in Nigeria. I'm not in Nigeria, and I hope to go back there. In fact, in a not distant futures, I'm going back because I have a lot of ideas, and my ideas cannot be done here.
This is the thing, right? We have a lot of ideas.
I'm Omobara, Nini, Ibara for sure. Do you understand me? So there is a reason why I do have to go back, because I came from a group of people that fought colonialists, and I absolutely have no problem. I don't have any shame saying that it is a must. Nigerian for good governance says, forget about it. Forget about
that's the mob. Can I say something very quick, please?
Go ahead.
Boss, are you in Lagos?
Yeah, I'm up and down in Lagos. Yeah.
So how far? Waiting the happened. How are you enjoying? How long are you there?
That sounds like a CIA question, but I did Nigeria. You understand? I did my business.
No, nothing happened. See, when we are making points here, man, let's be realistic, right? Because I live in the state, and I'm from the same place like where you at. I've lived there. I've been to Cameroon. From Cameroon as well. But this is the thing. Let's be realistic. If you take a human being, a mature person, and a little kid, we are all human beings. Africa is like a kid, and you have mature people like American, like countries like United States. Even in Europe, you have United States. They have bases like military base in the UK, Germany, right? But you don't have UK with a military base in United States. Now, this is the thing. You can't wake up one morning and think you have that right because your country have independence or your country. But at the same time, the kind of independence that African countries have is not the kind of independence that European countries and America have. You have independence in Africa, but at the same time, the language that you use, you don't have independence over your language. You live on colonial language. You have things that are tied to United States or other European countries. You look up to them, and you do a lot of things that people doesn't really see you as independent. So you want to stand tall because you have this and you have that, but at the same time, your people are rushing towards this part of the planet, of the continent, and you wouldn't see people that are rushing from United States over there to do what they do, like what you people watching from Africa to yeah. So this is my point, right? We have to be realistic about what is going on in that case, because if a person commits a crime that is so serious, and if it's serious and they need him to come, because United States and Nigeria signed it, they have a treaty, an extradition treaty.
So
if they
that
need somebody,
okay, take a look at this though, because somebody asked you the question, or who asked the question before. If you're saying because somebody committed a crime, by whose definition, what is the crime, right?
I'm talking about a serious crime. I didn't just say any kind of a crime. If it was not that serious, they wouldn't be calling him over here. If it was a petty crime, it wouldn't be a serious murder.
Okay, take a look at this. This is not the first time that the United States somebody committed a serious crime, right? And
this is not the first time we are having somebody extradited from Nigeria to United States.
So why are you allowing that? Why are we allowing somebody to be extradited from Nigeria?
Because it's a treaty that United States signed with Nigeria, and based on those treaties, United States is helping Nigeria with military weapons.
They be helping you? No, that's the issue right there. You give your power away every single time. Now,
but it's not. It's your people who is doing this. The thing is not.
Okay. So can I just say something? Because I am now, just because you sign something, or just because somebody signs something, it's not written in stone, and doesn't mean that you cannot change it. Right now, can you, when American commit a crime, can Nigeria put that person in prison? Because there are plenty of Americans that go to other countries. For example, there was a female that called herself a doctor that killed thousands of African children. She ran away. Why was she not extradited back to that country so that she can be punished? Now, if she, listen to me, because if she cannot be extradited, the so-called super cop, because the word is super cop, just because, you see, this is the problem that we Africans have, and the problem that Black people have as a whole. As soon as anybody with that skin tone says an African did something, a Black person did something, you are quick to throw them under the bus. You don't even know if what they say is true. For all you know, you don't even know the issue. Listen, no, is it in the according because they show you a paperwork? According to how many times do you know how many Black Americans that are in prison for 30, 50, 60, 70 years? And then they release them later and say, oops, my bad. Oops, my bad.
Don't say, take for instance, see what happened between Russia and United States, right?
If in fact the brother commit the crime, the so-called super cop, if he commit the crime, Nigeria has a court system. What Americans should then do is to go ahead and turn over all the evidence that they got, right? Turn it over to Nigerian government and let them prosecute their own. Constantly, when you start giving up your power, your right, just because you signed something doesn't mean that it was right. Just because a law is there doesn't mean that it was right. A couple of years ago, there was a white male that went to Kenya as a missionary. He goes there, he was raping those Kenya children, those orphanage children. Not only was he raping them, he was making them molest each other. And some of them end up, I don't know if he has HIV and he was the one that gave them the HIV, or those children have HIV. Either way, you have a lot of issues like that where he ran back to this country and he was never returned back to face his crime. So therefore, understand what is going on in international world. Stop giving your power away to anybody. Stop signing something that affects us in a very bad way.
I have no problem with
that. Can I respond to what you guys are saying?
You don't have the power to do it. That's what I'm saying.
You have the power to do it. You have the power to do it. Just say
I think both of you are making great points, but I think this is the part no one's acknowledging. The truth of the matter is, and I said this 1 trillion times on many platforms, African countries are technically broke in terms of the structures and the machineries of state. So effectively, they're not able to raise the type of internal tax revenue that they need in order to finance their day-to-day operations and their day-to-day capacity. So wait, let me tell you why. So, for example, most African leaders will sign any contract from the West for the most part, as long as it's not egregious, blatantly egregious. And the reason why is because we don't want to acknowledge that for the most part, wealth in Africa is extensively and intrinsically tied to the state. Most of the richest men in Africa have ties to the nation state. It's rare that even in America, I mean, because Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, all these guys, they're all getting government contracts to do cloud computer with the Pentagon. They're all getting billion-dollar contracts with the government. But at the end of the day, though, you do have a large marketplace that is able to generate wealth for individuals in the West to a certain degree, even though that's changing. The middle class is being, decimated as we speak. We don't have that in Africa, where you can have an independent, real access to market capital outside of the government. So most African leaders most African leaders will sign. That's why they'll sign these contracts, because they know that after they sign this contract, there's no accountability, there's no good governance, as you're saying. They don't have the power to fight back, as Jude is saying. So all they look at is the long run. Let me just end with this. The long run is this. Wait, let me just end with this, sister. This is what they end with. They say, you know what? Instead of me resisting like Sankara and getting killed, let me just sign this BS contract. It's, let's say, worth $6 billion. By the time I pay off everybody, we all share the deeds. We build maybe 2 roads. We'll give the people, 900 million or $1 billion, and the rest will be shared amongst ourselves. That's what's happening in Africa.
Okay, take a look at this. Okay, let me just say Nigeria, right? Because I don't know what everybody else is doing in Africa. Let's just take Nigeria, for example. Every local government have money coming in, whether it's money from people coming to get birth certificates, marriage certificates, stuff like that, right? Now, all those money, if you are actually listing how many people that been born, how many people that die, stuff like that, all those money that's coming from local government can start taking care of people from that locally, right? You can start making sure that all the elementary schools, all these, elderlies, you can build roads. All the money that's coming from local government can be used. Listen. Remember that you have men in the country. You see, because you underestimate Nigerians, because if you leave a group of men helpless and you're not giving them the right to build their own country, but then you go and bring outsiders to come and build the country and give them so astronomical amount of contracts, how much are you going to pay Nigerians, right? All the roads, let me tell you, the neighborhood that I lived in Nigeria, it was my father that built it. That built it. It was, pure gutter. The bridge that was put till today, what my dad did there was still there till today, nearly 40-something years later. So you can't tell me that if a single person can build a road that is almost a mile, that each and every one of us in the neighborhood cannot come ahead and say, from the local government, that all the money that is coming in, build the road. Every local government build the road. Then what is left for the federal government build. So that you know that you are using that money that is coming in for something, right? Now, and as the money coming in, open source, or free open source, how the money is coming in. Accountability.
But sister, here's the thing. The problem is, I agree with you. Yes, we can do that. And I'm actually one of the people who would say we should do that. Here's the problem. You're going to run into 2 issues. One, we might not in the short term, right? And in economics, they say in the long run, we're all dead. But in the short term, we might not be able to generate enough capital and capital expenditure to finance the current way of life that Africans want to live. So what am I saying? I'm saying that the average African right now wants a house, a picket fence, a dog, to live the Oyibo dream. But your plan would mean wait. Your plan. Wait, let me finish. Your plan, and I agree with your plan, would curtail our consumption and force us to live off what we have. The elites in Africa and the average African person does not want that. What they want is Western expenditure.
You are not
okay. I know it has not been presented.
Take a look at this. If you build the roads, right? You create water source, a fresh water everywhere, in every city, every county, right? That water is accessible, solar light, 100% for everybody, right? If you present it to the people, they will eventually see the light. Now,
that's what I'm saying, sister. Wait, but sister, we don't have that budget. We don't have. I'm trying to tell you.
Forget about.
No, we can't forget about the budget, because what you're going to do is you're saying things like water and roads and light, which I agree with. But what I'm trying to tell you is we don't generate enough. Wait, sister, you have to acknowledge this. Wait, sister, wait. I know, but you have to acknowledge this point. Right now in Africa, especially Nigeria, which I study extensively, we don't have the internal revenue that is generated to finance these projects.
I understand all that. Before you have internal revenue, if you are planning a future, right? Do you know, are you not supposed to create a vision board for that vision, what that future is going to look like? You don't need to have the money yet. You just need to have, this is what we want for Nigeria. Nigerian governance says, this is what we want. You want to live like Americans? You want to live the life of Americans? In order for America to be what it is today, they enslave a group of people to do it. Just bear in mind that all the frauds that you are seeing was as a result of a group of people being enslaved. In order for America to enjoy all the things that you see, all the sorts of big high-rise was built by the enslaved people. The question,
and some Nigerians would readily enslave other people. Let me tell you, if they, I'm sorry to say this, if they brought, because of this love for money and Yahoo mentality, if they brought the slave trade back tomorrow, and I'm sorry to say this, and they started telling Nigerians, hey, listen, grab some Africans and bring them to the coast for some dollars, you would see Nigerians be doing it.
Well, unfortunately for you, I don't think my people are that deranged. But for the purpose of this conversation, Nigerian for good governance, what is good? In order for American to be what American did today, it took them a long time to enslave a group of people. I'm pretty sure that Nigeria does not have intention of enslaving anyone. So since we're going to have to do it with our own bare hand, Nigerian for Nigerians, African for Africans, right? So create a vision board. Where do we see and start working on it? Rome was not built yesterday, right? We're going to have to build Africa. We've done it before. Our history didn't start from slavery. We are the original people of the planet, and we build nations. So therefore,
but we didn't build Western cities. And the problem I'm trying to say is this. I agree with you. No, sister, but wait, sister, I don't think you understand what I'm trying to tell you. No, listen, sister, we are on the same page. I don't think you're understanding. The vision you are look, I'm actually the person, the ex-dynast. I'm always on here saying, I just want to live in my village with 2 wives or 3 wives and my goats and my yams and relax. But I'm trying to tell you, the Nigerians, the Africans on the ground today don't want that. What they want is Westernism. They want Western development. And in order to get that, you have to have, but wait, in order to get that, you have to have, good, it was sold to them. So, but what I'm saying is that until we can sell them a counter narrative, you have to give the people what they want. And unfortunately, we don't have, which is whatever they want. And unfortunately, we don't have the capacity.
What they want is going to continue fostering corruption.
Yes, but they are not ready to hear that, especially the elite class. That's what I'm trying to say. How do you convince people? How do you convince Nigerians, right? How do you convince Africans, right? Like we in the West, like we're privileged. We can travel to New York, Atlanta, Chicago, wherever, Los Angeles, Brussels, Birmingham, Liverpool. We can travel all over, Malaysia, and we can see Western development. And I always tell this to Nigerians when I'm back home. I say, see, there's no magic in America. America's magic is simple. They have a strong military and they have good taxation system. Al Capone killed millions, well, not millions, but he killed, if not close to a few hundred people, right? He's responsible for their murders. Yet the U.S. government didn't care about the murders. What they cared about was he dodged taxes. That shows you the strength and the veracity of the IRS system. The tax system is what allows the U.S. dollar and what allows the military to be strong. They have the best tax system in the world. So in order to give African people what they want, you would have to have a tax system like that. Here's the problems. We don't generate the power. We need cloud computing. If you go to banks right now in Nigeria, Dynas knows this, you'll still see notebooks. People are keeping records with notebooks. Dynas, heaven forbid, if there's a fire in any bank building in Nigeria, some people's accounts will be off records for some days or for some weeks.
Also,
Hopefully they didn't. You understand what I'm saying?
Listen to this. Computer is not everything. Also, we can keep your books and keep your computer as well. Because if the computer shut down, heaven forbid, everybody will still be shit out of luck. Now, what Africa needs to start doing is to curate their own country, build the country according to African needs. We need to stop chasing whiteness. There is nothing in whiteness. Okay? Whiteness consists of greed, genocide maniac, murderer, child predator, child killers. If that's not who we are, we need to go ahead and do something that is consist of African society, African for African. Let's live by community. We do things. You are not going to live your life according to the way white people are doing it. We need to live according to African style of living, so that when you live, that you can say, I'm not going to do wrong to my neighbors, right? Again, you're going to go back to people stop starving, right? A farming every way, right? Number one. Number two, when you talk about just the Nigerian getting their money back, go to any Nigeria embassy, any places where you're going to get visa. That money, they need to make sure that when people go and apply for visa, get a visa, that money is coming back to the government straight up. We need to know how many people that's coming in, all foreigners, regardless of country, needs to pay visa coming to Nigeria. Number one.
But they already are paying. They do pay the visas when they come in.
1 second. Let's take a quick commercial break, everyone. If you have not bought the documentary in Search of Uhuru, please go to searchforuhuru.com. Again, please go to searchforuhuru.com and buy the documentary. Again, if you have not bought the documentary yet in Search of Uhuru, please go to searchforuhuru.com and buy it. It is streaming now on the site. So go to searchforuhuru.com and buy the documentary if you have not bought the documentary yet. Well, let's pass it to Jay $. Jay,
somebody asked for the link real quick, Dynas.
I'll put it in there. Go ahead, Jay.
Yeah. I agree with what the guy's saying, man.
Hey, Jay, it's like you're away from the phone, or I don't know. I don't know what's going on with your phone, bro.
You know what? Let the next person go. I'm almost home.
Okay.
Let the next person go.
Yeah, thank you. All right, yeah. So, guys, if you have not bought the documentary, go to searchforuhuru.com and please buy the documentary. Okay, let me put the link in the chat room. All right, go ahead. Whoever was going.
Yeah, no, me and Sister Barbara were going back and forth. I was just trying to say that I agree with her. I'm on your side, sister. The problem is that just being on the ground, you have to understand that it's going to be okay. Look, just look at the music, right? And you listen to this drug addict music that these people are calling Afro beats. It's basically painting them a picture that they all have to hammer, that they all got to get money and move to a big mansion in some island or something. This is the mentality. So it's very difficult to convince them otherwise. And I don't try to do that anymore. I don't want to sell them anything. I hope that, they embrace whiteness and die quickly. But at the end of the day, we have to acknowledge that if you're in charge of government in Africa, you have to face the fact that your tax revenue is key to fund your day-to-day activities. And there's corruption because they are collecting taxes. If you go in Nigeria, Dinosaur, when he was in the market, all those Agberos, all those buses, they take money from those buses. Where's that money going, Dinos? That money could be used to make sure that the lights is good on that neighborhood, that the women can go to market safely. They're not doing that. Those guys are taking that money in squander. They're not being responsible, even with the monies that they're taking. So, we have to contend with these things in Africa, and particularly Nigeria.
But still, if you don't have a vision of where the country is going, it's not just going to be every 4 years. Everybody's coming. Somebody asked a question. Somebody says, I say Africans for Africa. So therefore, I'm in America. The devil is a liar that I don't have the right to be anywhere I want in the world. What are you talking about? So because I'm in America, I should not speak up? That is a lousy mentality that we as Black people have, that you can't even question a Chinese man. You don't have enough guts to question these Mexicans. You can't question any of this. All this.
No, let's keep it civil. People should also speak their mind.
Generalization as well.
That's always with Black people, that you always question when you hear an African say, "What are you doing here?" I'm here because I am a woman of the world. I am the original woman. I have the right to be anywhere I want on the planet and still be African first wherever I go. Nobody's going to take Africa and me. Wherever I am in the world belongs to me. We're the original people. We're the first group to first circumvent the globe. So you're not going to shame me in that.
Oh, now, what a trash take. Come on now.
Now, having said that, if we're saying there has to be a vision board, there has to be a vision board, right? All these things we're talking about, it's not going to happen in one day. But the people need to see that saying that you want to live the life of America, you have to start from somewhere. You are not about to enslave other group of people like was done here in order for you to enjoy your African life.
I mean, what do you mean by that, Ibarra? There's a lot of industrialized countries that didn't have to enslave any other people to develop. I mean,
which country?
Exactly.
I can cite South Korea, Japan. I mean, Singapore. I mean, there's Malaysia. I mean, it's not only Europe and America that fall into the categorization of being developed.
But hear what the brother says. He says Nigerians want to live like Americans, right? And
it means the first world country. I mean, that was just an example. I'm pretty sure it could be Switzerland or any other.
I said, if you want to live like Americans, a group of people was enslaved for America to enjoy the life that they are having here. Now, so therefore,
even Nigeria is enslaving people. Like they take house girls and put at home and pay them less money. That's enslavement. Enslavement doesn't mean
going on in Nigeria. No. You see, that's the issue. You are conflating it. Are you saying that Nigerians are raping they're enslaving a group of people?
They're enslaving their own people as well. In Africa, it's not just Nigeria.
Having a domestic, this is the problem where the country have to have a law that says that you can't have any domestic staff under the age of 21.
You have domestic staff at the age of 15 doing domestic work, and they are not going to school, and they are paying them less.
Again, Nigerians for Nigeria. If you know this, right? What is it that everybody is doing to make sure this does not happen again? You can't leave it on the elite or your so-called government. It's going to have to be the people themselves that rise up.
Well, the problem is, I think.
Okay, you can't live a helpless life. You can't say you are helpless.
No, but here's the thing. With the domestic, with the domestic servant thing, I think we have to put it in context. Yes, there are a lot of abuses that occur with the domestic servitude.
Isn't that enslavement, though?
Wait, hold on. I'm gonna get there. I know, but wait. I agree. There's a lot, and I've acknowledged it. I'm saying it again. There's a lot of injustices, gross injustices that occur. However, we have to put them into a perspective. So, for example, historically, the way African systems work is that it was communal. So, for example, if Dynast is from Atlanta and Atlanta is populated and Dynast is my family member, or he's from my village, I would say, okay, Dynast, you're from my village in Boston, right? Take my son, let him stay with you. He'll work for you for some time being. And after a while, you will help set him up in business or put him through so he can get himself on his feet. And that was how we Africans collectively, that idea of it takes a village, that was how we did it. Of course, what we've done is we've bastardized it with this oppressive mentality. So like I'm saying all the time, when you talk to the elites in Africa, that vision board that the sister is mentioning, yeah, it's a great vision board. These elites in Africa are not going to go for that. They don't want that vision board.
We always have vision board when we live in the United States. Do you know most Nigerian governors studied in the United States? They had the same vision, but why didn't put them in place? And do you think Obiora is going to put it in place if she goes to Nigeria? I mean, we just, it's the same old talking, man.
So what's the solution then?
Well, then you sit there and keep complaining. I am not understanding us. It looks like we're
the solution is simple. If the truth of the matter is,
Everybody
African.
Listen to this. You know what the problem is. Every one of us can say, you can go to any local government in Nigeria, any local place in Africa, and you know what the problem is. If you know what the problem is, then what is the solution? If you don't have good governance,
I don't think there's a solution. There's solutions.
Forget about solutions. Right?
There's solutions.
Solutions, millions of them, trillions of them, right? But you're going to have to start. You can't give it to the elite, because the elite is not about to fix what is going on in Nigeria. It's going to have to be you as citizen of Nigeria waking up to say, we are no longer going to allow fraud, criminality of any type. If you don't get up and speak up,
but that's like that's true. But unfortunately,
for what you believe in, that's it. If you don't die for what you believe in, all the talk is nonsense. The Japanese died for what they believe.
I don't agree with these Japanese models. Because when you guys mention the Japanese, you guys are not putting things in context. The Asian examples, there's probably a few of them that are actually credible. The Japanese definitely did a lot of colonizing in Asia all through. You should look at what they did in Korea. Very terrible things that the Japanese did. Wait, hold on, brother. Hold on. I'm giving you an example. You can count it when I'm done. They did a lot of genocidal things in Asia. The Chinese, I've said this on this platform many times, were selected by Richard Nixon on the backs of African Americans. So when they took the factories out of the inner cities for African Americans, they now brought them over to China and allowed the Chinese to produce American goods. And that was what African Americans were doing primarily. And so you can see that if we're just falling for the okie doke, we got to be like China and Japan.
Christ, man, dude, you talk about so many things that you don't even understand. What do you mean that the factory workers? First of all, it's not only African Americans. You had whites. You had all kind of ways. What do you mean by? I mean, you cannot.
I don't think you understood what I said.
Yeah, I understand.
So you don't have to attack me.
You talked about outsourcing jobs.
I said
the US.
I said predominantly. I said affected on the backs of African Americans. I never said that white people weren't working in factories.
Yeah,
so I think you got to.
Everybody since everywhere.
But this is a black channel, sir. I was highlighting the black people. So calm down, relax. You don't have to. Calm down. I was talking about the black people experience. You didn't understand where I didn't say white people were not also affected by that. But the difference is that the U.S. system absorbed those white people, allowed them to have jobs, for example, as law enforcement, and gave them entry-level positions. Again, I'm talking of the black experience. That is why the black underemployment rate has always been and is still the highest in the United States of America. And we're comparing that to the African experience. So I'm just showing you that China, when we in Africa are bragging about China and how China is doing great things, which they are, no one's against China. But what I'm saying is China's success comes at the expense of our fellow Africans in America. And we have to acknowledge that. You don't have to agree, but the numbers show for itself there. That's all I'm saying. And again, when you look at Japan, you look at what the Japanese did in terms of colonizing parts of Asia, that was wrong. So again, if Africa wants, like the sister is saying, if Africa wants this Western style development, you have to be prepared for the sacrifice of, bringing people who will be cannon fodder for this Western development.
Are you done? Okay. Are you done? No, I'm just waiting for you to finish whatever you're saying. First of all, when I cited Asian examples, I was smart enough not to include Japan. I said South Korea, Singapore, Taiwan, and Malaysia. I did not say Japan because I know the history of Japan. That was the first point. Second point, when you cited the outsourcing of jobs, China was not the only country where jobs were outsourced outside the US. You had Mexico and you had multiple South American countries. Why are they not at the same level as China? Why is Mexico not a superpower like China? Mexico received as many jobs as China did.
Did Richard Nixon visit Mexico in 1970, sir? In the 1970s?
China wasn't the only country. That's my point.
No, sir. Wait, are you saying on the record that Richard Nixon went and strategically visited Mexico as a hub for U.S.? No, that's what you just said. That's
I'm
what you
saying
just
that
said.
American companies are saw jobs outside of the US. Not
No
only
one is
in
debating
China.
that, sir. Why are you trying to create an argument that no one's having with you? I'm not debating you on that. I gave an example of the black people experience. I don't care about Mexicans. I don't care about anybody else. Shout out to them. We're
You
talking
also
about black
said
people's
that when
global experience.
Africans, you just said when Africans share the success of
Let's take
China, we
Nigeria
need to
first.
remember.
Yes, we need to
The fact
remember
of-
what the China's success happened on the backs of African Americans. What's
But
wrong
that's
with
my
that
point.
statement?
The Chinese success is not only because American companies are source jobs to China. A lot of countries
Sir,
receive those same
sir,
factory.
sir,
Yes,
again, I'm talking of African Americans. Can you focus on that?
I'm
Are
focused
you
on my
allergic to the
God.
word African Americans? Why are you bringing up Mexicans, sir? We're talking about the African experience in America. I'm not worried about Mexicans, sir. Focus on what I'm saying.
At the end of the day, Nigeria needs to focus on Nigeria. Africans need to focus on Africa, and black people as a whole need to focus on black people. We need to enjoy this paradise on this planet. We don't need to die to be thinking that there's paradise anywhere. Hopefully, all of us have done good deed that when we die, we will actually enjoy paradise. But on this planet, right now, right here, right now, let's enjoy good paradise. Why? The people that enslave you, they're not going to give you your paradise. You're going to have to build your country on your own. We all know what is right and what is wrong. If you're going to kill somebody, you know that is wrong. If you're going to steal, you know that is wrong. Just start from there. The most basic, we are not that dumb or stupid that we don't know that if you're stealing something, if you're doing something wrong, is bad. So how about just go and live with 10 commandments, right? Thou shalt not steal. That's basic. You don't need any other thing. So wherever you are, whatever job you're doing, this is for my country, loyalty to the country, loyalty to the race, loyalty to the continent. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not rob. Thou shalt not kill thy neighbor. Thou shalt not steal from your neighbor. Is that too hard? Majority of Nigerians travel up and down all over the world. We don't kill, we don't rob, we don't steal there. So why should we do it in Nigeria? What is so wrong? Majority of Black Americans in this country are not committing crime. So what is the issue
Ms.
here?
Ibarra, can I ask you another question? Because you made a statement earlier. You said African first, Nigerian first. You do understand that a statement can be contradictory, right?
How's that?
That something that can be good for Nigeria can be bad for the rest of the continent of a neighboring country. Okay. I can take the example between Ethiopia and Sudan and Egypt.
So, okay,
you have to understand that, right?
First of all, if you say one African, which means wherever you are on the planet, we are all one.
No, you're not answering my question.
No, listen to this. Each country can have something that is unique to them as a country, right? Why Nigeria has something that's unique, that is just unique.
That's not my question, Miss Ibarra. My question is this. You do understand that something that can benefit Nigeria can hurt a neighboring country, right? So the statement of Nigeria first and African first cannot always be the same. I just want to understand the question first and well before you answer.
Your question is not, it is not even a question that
it is.
Listen to this. Your question is not a question that I need to answer. I will tell you why. Because white people are not sitting around and debate what they disagree on.
Yes, they do. They do.
Oh my goodness! But when they do,
well, brother, let her respond to you. Let her respond.
Listen to this. When white people are talking about destroying Africans, when they're talking about enslaving you, when they're talking about what they disagree on, what they're talking about it, you're gonna have to take a playbook from their own and then say, let's deal with what is good for Africa. Do you know what is good for Africa? For all Africans to be trading among each other. Ghanaians have one of the best Ankaras, right? Every university in Nigeria needs to start developing clothing line. We need to start making our own material. We need to start having China design our own clothes. Remember that when Nigerian goes to China to buy all those clothes, it is Nigerian design they are using. You give them the design and they make the clothes for them and they keep your design.
What does that have to do with my question, Miss Barra? Seriously.
Listen.
Let her get to it, brother. Slow down.
At times, when a person asks a question, right, the way I answer might be in the answer. I may not even be able to answer it, right? Because that's not where my brain is going. But what I'm telling you is this. What is good in Ghana Majority of what will be good for Ghanaians will be good for Nigeria. Majority of what will be good for Ghanaians will be good for Nigeria. So forth and so on in all that country. The one thing that connected all of us together is our collective humanity. As such, there is no debate. The argument about maybe your eyebrow is lower than your left eyebrow is lower than your right eyebrow, that's not a question. We need to stop being minor in major. We talk about the minor issues. Look at it. Every time we come on the Amir platform, brother Amir, right? Shout out to the brother. All we talk about is we talk about the complaints. We complain about what is going on. At some point, you're gonna have to rise up and start looking for solution. Many of the things that I just said right now, anybody can take it and start working on it and start working with it. When are you gonna wait? You're gonna wait until where? Elite. Which elite are you waiting for? If they're gonna do the right thing all this time, they will have done it. It is not in them to do it because elite is in cahoots with a lot of all this other country, right? So why are you waiting for them to do for you what you can do for yourself? We have over 200 million people. How many elites do we have in Nigeria? Are they up to 50,000? If they're 50,000, are they 100 million? Are you telling me that elite that is less than 1 million to 2 million people are much more powerful than you?
Yes, because they have the American military backing them. No, wait, no, they are more powerful because the problem with fighting the elites in any so-called third world nation
Nigeria
is that
country, we are first world. Africa
okay, I'm not. It could be. Look. That's why I said so-called. I don't get into the debates of first world. I don't care what white people say. We're first world, live on $1 a day. I stop listening to white people. I have no problem. Wait, but sister, I personally have no problem being third world, 50th world. I don't care what white people say. That's just me, and I understand for the optics. We have to fight against that. But I stopped listening to the linguistic juju or the linguistic voodoo of what white people say about me. So when white people so when white people label us, I stopped caring about their labels a long time ago. But what I'm saying is, you said
linguistic, right?
Okay, but wait, you said, well, we're not having the conversation in Isoko or Yoruba, so that's one other problem. But you said that are these elite more powerful than us? And that's where I'm trying to zero in to say, to a certain degree right now, yes, they are. Just, was it 2 days ago in mile 12 here in Lagos, it was a big fight, a political clash. One of the, I don't want to say any names, but some guy got killed. He got shot, right? And so the point is that the average guy who's selling his wares, or the average lady who's selling her buckets and her gala on the street, she has zero authority over that situation. She can agitate as much as she can, a little bit here and there, but when the bullets start flying, as someone said, you want to go fight the soldier, when you get shakabula, they just kill you, that's it. You understand? So nobody wants to just die like a chicken for no reason. So I think we have to understand that a lot of our agitations are well-founded, but we have to find other ways to get our the ends to our means. Because going up against these, Fela had a great song called MOP, Movement of the People. In that song, he said something basically, that's why when the president is walking, he walks around with 50 bodyguards, with 1,000 soldiers, and the minister has 50 police, this, because they're not men of the people. They're not leaders of the people. Because true leaders of the people don't really have to fear the people doing anything to them. And what you're saying is actually a great point, because if you remove Western intrusion or Western backing of African leadership, these guys will not be leaders. They'll be ran out within an hour. But at the end of the day, they can always make a phone call to the West, and the West can always provide them guns and backing. So I'm just saying that we on the ground
that only makes sense in theory, because we've done the most horrible things to each other. And I'm speaking as a descendant of my mothers and fathers in Africa. We've done the most horrible things to each other without the supervision of the white man. And with the supervision of the white man, they stopped us from doing horrible things to each other. And even over here in America, you look at people like Young Dolph, who was a man of the people. He was murdered in his own city. Most of the rappers got a clear warning over
Rest in peace to Flipper.
Go ahead. Sorry about that. Say that again.
I said rest in peace to the Flipper.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. But I'm just giving you a clear point that without some type of regulatory authority over us, it seems like we'll sell each other out. And
what kind of crap is that? Humans do horrible things to each other. It doesn't have to be white, black, blue, yellow. I mean, why is this?
But DJ,
I mean, white people, Europeans have killed each other for centuries. I mean, humans do horrible things to humans.
This is the reality and not anything fantasy that I'm making up. I'm 49 years old, and in America, I lived through the crack era where we were doing horrible things to each other just to come up on crack. We were doing horrible things to sisters. We were selling each other out. So it's not hard for me to stretch my imagination back to the kidnapping trade.
To the slave trade. Yeah. Drug trade and the slave trade are pretty much parallel universe of the same nonsense.
Same thing. We the same people. And it's not hard for me to stretch my imagination back to see. Look at what was happening. The kidnapping trade was basically a cover for the big gold trade, to where we was kidnapping each other, and the world was robbing us of gold because that was actually the gold trade. So we can keep going in circles about how we treat each other and address that. Like the sister Ibarra was saying, I love listening to this sister. But she was saying how Nigeria is split up into 3 factions: the Igbo, the Yoruba, the Fulani. And in every other culture, people I'm over here in America. People are not really concentrating on your ethnicity in that fashion like that. Now, the systems in America is biased towards Black people, but I'm saying like my regular everyday neighbors and things of this nature, when I go out to work, most people are not concerned about your ethnicity.
But Black people don't do ethnicity. But what we substituted, for example, if I'm from New York and I go to the South, they like, oh, you a Yankee, you ain't from here. Oh, that's East Coast, that's West Coast. Oh, he blood, he Crip. We just replace ethnicities with something else that we want to replace them with. What's the difference between the way that the Bloods and Crips treat each other and the way that the Houthis and Tutsis treated each other?
Again, there is one thing that we all have to start facing now. Now we can all agree that human being does bad things and terrible things to human being, right? Are we going to just sleep in this soup of human being and this is what we're going to talk about all the time? Or are we going to say, okay, we know things happen, regardless of who doesn't like it, we move on from there? That we're going to create good governance, that we're going to make sure that children are not suffering, that we're going to make sure that our elderly are not suffering, that we're going to make sure that when people get sick, there is a free healthcare for everyone, that we're going to make sure that free education for everyone.
But sister, I want you to, I like what you're saying, but can you give me how you're going to pay for this? Give me a working example of a tax model that's going to pay for what you just said, because that's the problem. Because I don't think you face the reality. We don't have the budget for that.
Forget about, you see what I keep saying, forget about budgets.
No, don't say that. Listen, I know what you're saying. Can you tell us how we're going to pay for it? Without saying forget the budget. How do you raise the revenue for it?
How is a Nigerian senator getting 36 million naira? What are they doing?
By American government contracts, because they're selling NNPC oil and the NNPC oil refunds them. And then we know that the CBN, there's a whole bunch of trickery going on. But forget the senator, please. If you're in charge of Nigeria tomorrow, wait, how are you going to raise the revenue to pay for the projects that you're saying?
You keep saying there is no money in Nigeria, right? How many people?
Not to do what you want, not to do the free healthcare and the things that you want. We don't have the capacity.
How do you? Okay, you are trying to raise money, but you don't have a vision of where the country is going first, right? Everybody just want to live like America.
No, let's say we did your vision. No, let's say we did your vision. You're in charge of Nigeria, 2025. Madam Ibarra is the new president of Nigeria. Now you get into the office. You sit down there, you look at your budget. Right now, Nigeria has about $25 billion in loans. We have problems with Boko Haram. which they borrowed from the IMF. State governments have also borrowed money. I think Lagos owes like another $6 billion. A bunch of states have borrowed money. So you have all these loans. Wait, we have all these loans. I'm telling you what you're facing. You have problems with Boko Haram. You have the people in the East agitating. You have the Niger Delta agitating. So forget all the agitations. Now you want to come in and give us good governance, free healthcare, free food, all these things. How are you going to raise the revenue to pay for them?
All right. So if you're going to have to listen to me, this is how we're going to get it done. First of all, you have oil in Nigeria, don't you have oil? You shut down all the oil company in Nigeria, period. We're not selling oil to any outsiders anymore, right? All the money that everybody so listen, you see, if you ask me, this is what I'm going to do, right? This is my intention. I've been saying it, it just didn't come to my head. You're gonna have to stop oil company. You're gonna stop anybody that you are selling oil to. Everybody pack your bag and go home. Because the oil having oil is not doing anything to Nigeria. Is that not what I'm hearing you saying? We have oil in the country, and you're still telling me that you don't have money. Or you're still telling me that you are borrowing money. Then if you have to borrow money for government, then that means we don't need the oil, right? Then if we don't need to close it, the only oil that is going to be available for the next 10, 20 years is going to be enough for the citizen to live their day-to-day life, right? Once you shut that down, all your fishing area, all your oceans, all your rivers, right? It needs to heal, it needs to clean. Now, everybody needs to be paying taxes. All the so-called elite that you talk about, all the money that they took out of Nigeria, they need to bring it back. We need to build Nigerians, right? You don't need a lot of things to do it. All your roadside brothers, all your garage boys, everybody needs to be put to work. Start building Nigeria, right? Build the hospitals. How much are you paying? You're not paying them much anyway. So all the money that the senators are taking, take that money and start using it for the civil servant. Use it to build the street. Use it to build the road. All of them, including Obasanjo, Jonathan Goodluck, every dime that all of them take, you bring it back.
Man, that was a beautiful dream.
Well, you asked me
Can I make a
what I would do, right?
Can I make a suggestion for a government to have a strong tax base?
Stop borrowing money.
They have to build up a strong tax base within their country. They have to help their tax base. That tax base get to where it needs to be, to where
all your billionaires in Nigeria are not paying taxes. All your foreign countries are not. If they're paying taxes, we don't see it. All the money that comes from all the visas, the government don't see it. All the local money, we're not seeing it. We go to
Miss Ibarra, you said force all the corrupt politicians to bring the money that they stole back. How do you do that? Let's say Obasanjo.
Is it that they do it or they don't live in Nigeria? Listen.
Most of the wealth that they steal, they send it abroad. So how do you recuperate all that money stolen?
Let me tell you something. You see that they bring that money back, or their entire.
So I'm saying, how do you do it? How do you do it?
Listen. Didn't Tinubu wants to be a president right now? All your governors, didn't everybody want to be president, or they want to keep being governors? Okay, you can be governors. In fact, we are willing to show you. Go ahead and return all your money back now. Right now, open source, we need all that money back. Go ahead and explain how you get your money. If you're going to run for a dog catcher in Nigeria, you need to explain your money. If the little money that Nigerian going to pay you, and I'm not saying Nigerian government pay you, we citizens are paying you, right? If an average Nigeria is getting $18,000, $18,000 should be good for a Nigerian representative, right? If it's not good enough for them, then pack your bag and go home. Let other Nigerians come and run the country. All these things that you're saying.
Oh my God, this is so naive. Oh my God.
It may not be so naive, but when American came to took over this country, a lot of it was not naive. A lot of things are not naive. If you don't start speaking things out to the universe and let the universe know what you want, if you want good governance, you're going to have to end corruption at every turn.
So now you have to manifest, you have to speak into manifestation. Jesus. I don't even believe in Jesus.
So what did Jesus have to do with it? You are here right now as a single person. If you have a family member of yours that is in government, is it not your responsibility to make sure that they are not corrupt? Right? I'm telling you that if Tinubu wants to be Nigerian president, fine, be Nigerian president. But before you can get in that power, every single dime that you took from Nigeria, you return it back. All the money that Obasanjo, good luck, every single one of them. What is so wrong in demanding, regardless of tribe and ethnicity?
The problem is not demanding. The problem is how do you incorporate? Since the beginning of the independence of African countries, I can cite so many corrupt politicians, not only Nigeria, from Congo, Cameroon, my own country. How do you incorporate that money?
Now,
it's not the want. We understand that we should get that money back, but how? The problem is the how.
Then, so what are we going to do? Antigua and Coast, we're just going to let them go like that? You don't know what to do. You can't imprison them. You don't know how to imprison them anymore. You can't reprison their entire family anymore. You don't know how to do that. You don't know how to punish your own leaders.
Most of them flee the country, so how do you bring them back?
Historically, the problem is...
You see how during some of our
historically,
listen to this. You are signing law with America that America can go and get your super cup, but you are not signing the same law that says all the money that all the government put in your country
but
back.
You're not America.
Wait, here's the problem. Wait, but I think the problem is that, sister, I agree with you in theory, but in practice, again, power, it comes in many forms, right? But raw naked power is the ability to force your will and impose your idea or subject somebody to your idea. If you don't have the gun and if you don't have the manpower to enforce that, it's going to be impossible. The average citizens of Nigeria are kept, poor, uneducated, hungry, and destitute for a reason. Even the police, even the soldiers. When you look at our Nigerian police, I was on I was in a car the other day. The police guy was driving by me on Okada, and his gun had rust on it. And I'm like, is this the guy that's supposed to protect me from, any type of situation? So the citizens don't have the real capability to enforce what it is that you're saying. So,
in that case, I don't think Nigeria should be complaining about their problem.
So,
listen to this.
No, but
if we say that we are helpless, if we say we are helpless,
no one's saying that they're helpless. What I'm saying is that I think, unfortunately, well, listen, look, I personally have no problem with Nigerians drinking their Gary and Ekpa. I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. Africa has a Dunning-Kruger effect across the board, and they have a Murphy's Law effect. The African elite.
Can you explain what a Dunning-Kruger and Murphy's Law effect?
So Dunning-Kruger is basically a person's inability to estimate their lack of skill. They overestimate themselves. A typical Nigerian will tell you, Nigeria, we did carry last. And it's like, dude, you should be carrying last if you're not competent. But the Nigerian mentality is to scam, scheme, and find any crook and hook so he doesn't carry last, so he can come in first place or second place, as opposed to saying, dude, I'm not skilled at this. Let me go back to the drawing board and learn what I need to learn so I can come in first place. Nobody wants to acknowledge that. Right? We talk, we have all these degrees, we're so smart. And it's like, no, we're not. When you come down to Africa and you see somebody who studied, I don't know, basket weaving, and they're in charge of, the physics. I'm being silly here, but they're in charge of something that's like, what? How are you in that position? So I'm just saying that I think, we Africans have to acknowledge that our elite are incompetent. If you have conversations with African elite leaders, when you have conversations with these leaders, they're not giving you any type of new age thinking to usher their people in to the future. They're coming out with rehashed ideas and rehashed economic ideologies from the 1980s and 1970s. Realistically, I said something, and I think it went over, is that the African source of wealth is tied to the state. Effectively, if you want to get rich in Africa, particularly Nigeria, become a politician. You have to have money to become a politician in the first place. But if you want to get rich in Africa, don't go to the markets, don't start a business, become a politician. And until that dynamic changes, it's going to be very difficult for the people to enforce their will on these leaders. because becoming a politician is a source of revenue for themselves. But I think people were complaining in the chat room that the Nigerians took over and they didn't talk about the Kenyan election. So whoever is from Kenya, please call in. I'm going to bow out gracefully. Thank you all for having me. Dynast,
No problem.
appreciate you all the time. Thank you.
Yeah. Unless somebody was to call in and talk about the Kenya election, we could go ahead and close out. Links to the chat room. There's any.
I'll step back as well. Thank you so much. Good show.
Oh, no problem. Thank you. So what we'll go ahead and do, we'll go ahead and close out. Hey, everyone, thank you so much for joining. Like, share, subscribe. Until next time, family, Dynasty Mirror, Search for Uhuru. Peace.